Sean here, guys. We're here at the night spot, and Edmund Turner is here preparing for the upcoming DRL season. So as he was racing with the DRL Racer 4 and 2 practice rigs built up to mimic them, I thought I'd give you guys an inside scoop and a full review of how that thing flies and how the craft from the Drone Racing League television show performs on the most famous tracks in the world, most notably the Houston night spot.
The Racer 4. No. Look at this thing. Nah. Look at this thing.
Wait, let me get the tiny trainer out.
Oh yeah, tiny trainer for scale.
Oh yeah, for scale. It's a little brother.
Wow, this is huge. These are bigger than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, look at the prop itself. Look at the tiny trainer, like kind of fits in the prop.
The tiny trainer is the same size as the prop.
Check these batteries out. They're like really skinny. Like they look like these like 3 cells almost, but they have these like super skinny like 5 cells in there. It's a 5-cell 2300 mAh, but it's like these tiny thin cells, and then it pops in literally just like the tiny trainer. You just get it on the back and then pop it in, and then like you get your tiny trainer, and then you do the exact same thing where it just slides right in. So it's
really get the DRL.
It's kind of
same thing. So awesome.
Does this have all DRL's gear on it, or do you put like Betaflight gear on it?
So we use like their electronics. But the only thing that's different is like the video and receiver system. So they use like their own special video system. Yeah. But yeah, so this is like this is not what they use in the show. Just this is like a unified of tracer receiver.
But that's like the video.
But this is like, so this is the flight controller right here, and then that's like this power distribution board. And then this is like, yeah, also PDB. So you can see like these are like breakout boards. So they solder here, here, and here. And then this is actually an ESC. I'll show you one up close. The ESC, which is like really cool.
It just pops in?
The tech. So you can see the motors trying to solder on right here. And then it just has this connector here, and it plugs in, and you solder the positive ground, positive ground. The LEDs just snap on. So like they don't even like really need to solder. They just get them on here. And then they're on like that, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's badass. This one just has like individual ESCs. You can kind of see in it. But they're just like TBS bulletproof ESCs. You can see the lead that I had to add. So the ones that we fly on the show, like the video system and everything's heavier, more LEDs. So we have to add LED
to simulate the actual weight.
Yeah. So that's why I had to bring like literal lead. But the motors are 2510, and here's a shell. This one's broken, but so here's the practice rig. I brought 2 of these for Neil and Yvonne to fly. And it's like the Project 399, and they obviously this is all weight here, like lead weights here. But it uses just like a hobby wing stack. This one here, so just a 60 amp stack. These are like 2510, like 1280 or something kV. Yeah, these are DRL branded, but these are you can buy them.
Wow.
And then use the same props. So there's just HQ 7x4x3 props, and it's not exact. I won't say so. Like these, we use like obviously proprietary ESCs, and they use like one shot and their own special tune and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. But like, so I've never been able to get this to fly like exactly like a Racer 4 or be like a proper training tool. But I mean, it's super cool to like fly with your buddies and like have a big quad in your face. If you're practicing for DRL, then like yes, practicing with one of these or other people who are flying these is great because it does simulate like that big quad in your face. But you don't have to use a big quad like that to get spec racing. Like there's a Freedom spec and other forms of spec.
So with their video system, it uses 2 antennas?
Well, this one's for crossfire, so like it has 2 little ports, and then you screw a crossfire antenna, or not crossfire, whatever it's not crossfire. It's something 900, so they screw a 900 antenna on, and then the 5.8.
So the radio link is their own proprietary.
Yeah, and it's supposed to around the latency of tracer, a really fast radio link.
It's fancy stuff.
A lot of LEDs.
Yeah, but the one on the show they have even more. So like this only has them down the arms, but they have like a panel that goes down the top here.
So when does the actual season start?
It starts airing at the end of September.
So you're training and you decided to take a flight down to Houston to get...
It's really dense, full of like talented pilots.
Evan just said that Johnny 5 is a talented pilot.
I think he's talking about you.
So he brought one quad like that for me and for Neil to race against him, to give him, So this quad is actually faster than Racer 4, so we're kind of like adjusting the speed of this quad with the throttle cap, and giving Evan a little bit of competition.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
So he came down here to get the training. Is there incentive for you guys to actually win? Like, do you get something for winning?
Yeah, no, there's, I mean, it's just like, like in any like
like
racing
a cash purse?
Yeah.
series. Like for every race, there's incentive to
prize.
perform.
Nice.
So yeah, everybody wants to do the best they can, and you get go out to a nice dinner if you win. Or something. But of course, the end goal, is like you want to get a contract for the next year, so you want to be in the mix. I have a race 4 that wants to tonight, so you're more than welcome to try it out. So this one even has light weights on it as well. We're trying to get to like 1,350 grams or 1,380 grams with everything on it. So that is like GoPro. With the battery. If drone racing is going to become a spectator or anything, like this is what it'll be.
So how much
Slower than Freedom Spec. But like I think Freedom Spec is the best practice for DRL, and it really helps me. I think.
So chances are he's gonna dominate.
No. But I mean, it's very similar. Like turning early and like a lot of the like ways when you're flying at the quad's maximum potential, then like you really have to like think of fundamentally like how you're turning the quad, like what the motor's like. For yaw, for example, like you want to minimize. You don't want to use any yaw because that means you're at full throttle. And say you're going through a turn using yaw, you're cutting off 2 motors. Like they can't go full throttle. If you can minimize how much yaw you're going to use and turn with the other motors, you'll have more thrust. Like inherently, you will have more thrust.
Yeah. Did you mess with the camera angle any?
No, we're required to use 45.
Oh, okay.
Really? Yeah. In a straightaway, you're not losing near as much. Like the thrust isn't near as important. So you can kind of cock it sideways in a straight. And then when you actually go into a turn, because in a turn, that's where like the difference is made. If you're going into a turn with a ton of yaw, a quad can power right out of you. So you can kind of cock it sideways and then really pull with roll and pitch and use less yaw, and that's where you make up the fight. I wouldn't recommend you buy it unless you're on DRL.
There you go.
But if you're on or you're friends with somebody who's on DRL, then they're great to race each other.
But then if you get serious with them, then you gotta have like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, and then it's
like
the batteries
why?
are expensive,
Yeah.
the motors are expensive.
So basically, Freedom Spec gives you almost the same feel.
I like the idea of like for the community itself to be able to use their drone, the spec drone, for other things, use the motors for other things, use the batteries for other things. The batteries are pretty big, you can never use those for 5-inch. The motors are kind of expensive and you never really use them for anything other than this.
Dangerous, like.
I mean, danger, yeah, sure, but I mean,
crashes like full
drone,
speed.
danger has never scared a drone pilot away from anything, I don't think, so.
True.
That's not one of my reasons, but it's cool nonetheless, like I said. It's,
I cartwheeled one today though over Andy's barn.
yeah.
So
It
he
was
started.
so, like, hit the start gate, hit the grass right in the start gate, and started cartwheeling, and then cartwheeled up and hit the awning of the barn and both sides of the roof, and like was on the other side. Like
Yeah,
from
there's
the
no
start
way
gate.
like
So
5
it's
inch
tough.
would do that.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. Oh yeah, and like just change the props.
Yeah.
How much like extra metal he put on them
That's
Yeah.
crazy,
to make them
man.
heavier, like all over.
It's
Crazy.
1,300.
Well, not this arm. Why not this arm?
I don't know. I think we replaced this motor or something, so we cut it.
You know, now I'm a little bit lighter than Neil.
Yeah. He's got the advantage.
I don't think it's gonna help you.
Let's see how tough this thing is. It looks pretty okay.
We're golden,
Looks
boys.
pretty okay. Not a
That's
scratch
awesome.
on it.
Just new props. That's all she needs. Look, this is where it hit though, for sure. Let's find the mark in the tree. Here, look at it dug in right here.
Oh, man.
That's like legit, like fits in there. Look at that.
That's about
Wow.
that's about a 45 caliber.
Look at that. Like my whole finger goes in there.
That's crazy. Jeez, what's that?
I mean,
like, it's like 10 millimeters
Oh
thick
god,
or
yeah, look,
something.
it's so thick. Dude, I can stick my finger in the tree where it hit, like, yeah. Holy.
That thing is tough.
Dug in right
Wow.
That is tough.
That's epic.
What is that? Project 399?
there. Yep, the Prig.
Man. Here we go. We got all 6 quads coming around the line.
Way midair.
Holy crap.
5 years in drone racing, I've never had 3-way midair. When 3 quads collapsing with each other like that's crazy.
Holy crap.
I guess because these quads are big, so
Yeah,
they're
they're
throwing
pretty
big,
big.
it's much easier to midair.
Oh, you can't fit inside the gate.
That's how it is in DRL. Like the quads are so big and we're all so close, and like the speed is, oh my god, it's crazy. But going through these tiny gates, especially, like only so many quads are gonna fit through one.
I want to do that. That was pretty cool. I hadn't
Yeah?
got to the split ass yet. Yeah.
But it's like that's a different skill than
gotta
5-inch, because when you're behind,
move.
you kind of have to fly different lines. Especially if you want to pass somebody. Like if you want to pass somebody and you're behind them, you have to fly a different line than you normally would, because they're going to be on the line. So you have to kind of try and figure out a different way.
But
to
it also
pass
because of prop, you can feel prop wash of the pilot in front of you.
It's crazy because the quad's so much heavier, it creates so much more turbulence.
So you're just slower. If you're behind someone, you're just slower.
Yeah, Neil said it's like the opposite of cars. It's like opposite drafting. You don't want to be behind.
Look at that.
Oh, that's crazy. So it's like almost counterintuitive.
Yeah. I mean, let's try and plug it in, see what happens. Sheesh. See if fire comes sometime. We're good.
I saw sparks or something.
Oh man, I can smell it, dude. Toasty.
I just smelled a whiff of it.
It smells like burnt chicken.
Yeah. I don't think it smells that tasty.
Vaughn's fixing. What's it looking like?
Well, just replace ESC. Now I need to put a motor on it, and hopefully it's good to go. This ESC is dead.
Oh man,
I don't know
smoked
what is that. Yeah. Neil smoked it. He midair with me and with Evan at the same time.
Yeah, three-way midair.
Can you imagine how big of an asshole you are if you take like split second and two other pilots down together with you? So it's like neither Neil have fun nor other pilots.
I was having fun too. It was more fun until we crashed. But then I found out it hit you, and then it was more okay.
That's an asshole.
Is that like a menage a trois crash?
It was, yeah. That's a party right there for sure. Oh my gosh, it has been like the most fun of racing I've had in a long time the last 2 days.
Really?
Man, because it's like, so that we really got the throttle cap figured out where like I'm racing with Evan every heat. And like, man, it's been like we were racing all day, and like, especially if I don't mess up, which is, that happens, but like, that we're like 10 feet from each other and like passing back and forth. I mean, it's really good. And we set up Andy's like really stretched out and really high speed to like mimic the sort of DRL feel. And it's been a good time. It's been a really good time.
Man, I can't wait
For sure. Yeah, it's been good. Like, there's probably been more crashes from mid-airs than from us, like, making mistakes.
Yeah.
Because we're just that close. It's been good. It's been good. Yes. Look at this thing. It's a beast. Have you picked it up yet? Because it's really heavy. Look, it's, like, full of lead. Like, he's got an added weight on all the arms to get it to, like, match the same weight as, like, the DRL quad.
Here's my box of lead. TSA was like, they thought I was crazy.
We deal in lead, friend.
Yeah, like what is this?
Why are you bringing a box of lead?
Dead weight. It's really fun. It feels cool.
Man.
And it's, I mean, like, just flying all these big quads slow. And, like, for sure, mine's a little faster than Evan's, but it still feels good to be, like, there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
really racing. So, yeah, it's fun.
half a gate ahead. Neil's a quarter gate right behind him. Heading back to the back split S. Joe's up. Evan's right behind him. Neil's right behind. Someone right behind someone. The pace is staying the same. Ooh, Neil gained some ground right there.